Radar contact. November 245, continue maneuvering out there, and kind of that area, I'll have your turn back northbound for you in just a bit.
Oh, I'll continue going south, 245.
November 28 Romeo, I'll have lower for you in about 2 miles.
Albuquerque approach, good morning, Compass 6079 is at a 17-1, descending via the Albuquerque 3, we have hotel.
On country 8200 Albuquerque approach, good evening, contact approach 127.4.
Albuquerque approach, Compass 6079 is at a 16-7, descending via the Albuquerque 3, we have hotel.
Compass 6079 Albuquerque approach, good evening, expect a visual approach runway 26, you're cleared direct Brando and descend and maintain 10,000, delete speed restrictions.
Okay, descend and maintain 10,000, direct Brando, delete speed restrictions, Compass 6079.
Skull 24, you RTB to Sunport.
Yeah, approach Skull 24, south arrival.
Bonanza 28 Romeo, descend your discretion.
Bonanza 28 Romeo.
Skull 24, roger, south arrival is approved. Information hotel still current, 101 at 4, contact tower 120.3.
Switch in the tower, Skull 24.
Bonanza 28 Romeo, resume on navigation, runway 30, you can maneuver as you need to for your base turn.
We'll pretend we're the shuttle today. Bonanza 28 Romeo, thank you.
Bonanza 28 Romeo, thanks. Contact tower 120.3, have a good one.
Thanks.
November 245, are you ready to come inbound now?
I'm ready to call me about 245.
Right, 245, roger. When you're ready, you can make that right turn, heading about to 320 now, vector for sequence.
320, vector for sequence, 245.
November 245, resume on navigation for runway 30.
Resume on navigation, runway 30, 245. Airport in sight, Compass 6079.
Compass 6079, I shall have your approach plans for you as soon as I can get you out of the departure corridor.
Okay.
Compass 6079, otherwise 10,000 is going to be the lowest I can get you for about another 12 miles.
Okay, Compass 6079.
Cap flight 3040, altitude your discretion. You're just going to go inbound from Butney for the approach.
Cap 3040, we'll probably do one turn in the holding pattern to get down to 9100.
Cap flight 3040, roger, and advise prior to starting a turn back to the northeast for the procedure turn.
Roger, we'll advise you when we make the turn, Cap 3040.
Cap flight 3040, thanks. Traffic's about 7 miles west of your position, northeast easterly bound for runway 26 is an Embraer 12,000 descending to 10,000. They should be off your left side if you make that turn back to the northeast.
Alrighty, we're back doing some FedEx. It's not my favorite plane, but it's fast. So, and this is kind of a long distance trip. but I'm testing something. So I needed my fastest plane. I can't wait till the Rotate MD-11 comes out. I'm not sure if that might be a 727, but the MD-11 is like a glass cockpit. It's probably about the size of this one. So let's get some stuff first. See if there's something I can do about getting the V speeds set up. Sets the V speeds can be transferred from the FMC to the EPIS. Well, that's not true. That's what I was looking for. Interesting. It's semi-auto. And on new. Right. So the way that I handle the loading of this aircraft is I do a random count. So I do a random count between 180 to 235, which is if you have the passenger variant of the 7.6, then you have up to 235 passengers, which is a double aisle heavy aircraft. But for cargo, I still use the passenger aspect of it for weight purposes for SimBrief. So on SimBrief, what I do is I set 200 and I went, between 180 and 235. I came up with 232. So then 232, multiply that by 230 pounds per person. And that comes up to 53,300. So if you were to go full weight, which I'm pretty close, and you multiply it by 230, you're going to be getting pretty close to the MTOW for this aircraft. So then what that will do is it will give me the zero fuel weight, which is what I use for the cargo variant. So I use the passengers. There's other ways of doing this. This is just how I do it with this aircraft. So we got 304.7, and I'm rounding up for gas. So I also need the cost index, which is going to be 30. And reserve fuel 4.5. And I rounded it up to 24,000 pounds. So it's a long flight, but we're leaving New Mexico, we're going into Colorado. So at the state line, I've edited the text file to where it should automatically make the entire state of Colorado snow covered. And then I used a custom scenery snow version of Denver. So when we landed to Denver, it should be full snow everywhere we look, even though, and I did it today because it's pretty much good weather. It's not snowing right now, So I should be able to see most of Colorado en route. And like I said, this is what, 300 something miles, I guess. So Albuquerque, PilotEdge, we're looking at 29901. So basically standard pressure, current with Oscar, and they're taking off on 8. So that's what I have filed. So we will come to, and the SID for this is runway specific. So the SID that I'm filing is runway specific to 8, which is the Jamez 3. So that's runway specific SID. Someone was asking about SID, so I'm not gonna do a full tutorial on SIDs and stars, but I'll give you that little bit of information that the Jamez 3 is runway specific. Overseas, they have that more often than the U.S., to where SIDs and stars for that matter are runway specific, but not in the U.S. All right, so we are a heavy aircraft. We are Boeing 763. We're slant Lima for FMC. We're going to cruise at flight level 330. IFR, and we're going to use the Peak 3 arrival because we're going to assume they're landing south. So we will file that. And the star is different depending upon the landing operations as well. Hard fan. Herd fan. Herd. Wait, see. Herd fan. How you doing there, bud? Nice to see you again. I'm testing out the winter text file. So I should be able to get all of Colorado winter. So I'm testing it because New Mexico, I don't have any winter programs. So we're going to fly out of New Mexico where it's desert, and we're going to fly into snowy Colorado. So it should be fun. All right, so let's hop in the aircraft and we'll get the loading started. So we go to ground. I need 10 pallets. Cargo is, I wrote it down, 8,700. And then I'm going to go with 24,000 pounds. It gives me 304.7, so that matches SimBrief. So what you do, you take, so to get these calculations, you take doing well sitting in the school parking lot waiting to get my girls. Oh, nice. Gotta love tech these days, to where you can, tune into streamers while you're out and about. I mean, that's just amazing. 10 years ago, someone would have looked at you cross-eyed if you had said that. So the way I get this, because 304.7, as you'll see, is, let me come over here, 304.7. So 304.7 is my zero fuel weight. So the gross weight on this aircraft is 198,000. So you take 304,700 and you subtract 198,000. That gives you a remainder of 106,700 pounds. So then you divide 106,700 pounds by 9,800 pounds, because each pallet weighs 9,800 pounds, right? So that, when you divide it, it gives you 10. So 10 times 9,800 is 98,000, obviously, add a zero. So then you take 106,700, which is your cargo weight, minus the pallets, which is 98,000, and that gives me a remainder of 8,700, which goes there. So now I know I have 10 pallets, 8,700 pounds of cargo, 24,000 pounds of fuel. Gives me a zero fuel weight of 304,700 with a gross weight of 328,700 plus 21 max. So we're pretty much good for CG. So that's how I do my loading with the FedEx variant. I'm sure other people have their own ways, but I like to be down to the 170 pounds per person type thing. So we'll click load and we'll start the loading process. We got 5 flights, so I usually do maintenance at 10. I don't like things breaking unless I want it to break. Alright, so we're going to do battery on. Standby power to auto. We have external powers available, so we're going to click that. Turn on the bus ties. Light up the glare shield. Logo and nav lights. Get the IRSs aligned. X'd out my window on my laptop for the stream. I'm gonna have to look at my other monitor. I'm thankful for technology. I have to get here an hour early to get a parking spot. This helps. Oh yeah, I remember those days. That's good though. I mean, now there's things that we can do to help occupy our time. Let's see. Nav lights. Get this screen lit up. Let me see. Eric is current, I think. Yep, Jan 2, Jan 30. We're using the Rolls-Royce engines, freighter variant, model 131, which is the current version. So we're good. Position in it. We are at A, B, Q. So we'll do a reference airport, make sure that it's relatively close to that, which it is, so we know we're at the right starting position. So I want the GPS position. You could copy the airport, but the airport reference is basically in the middle of the field, so I like to go with the GPS position. That's why I start the IRS alignment first. So we'll copy that, we'll paste it there, and we'll get the IRS position aligned. Make sure our fire valves are facing forward. The APU one is facing to the left. APU has 1 bottle of extinguisher. Each engine has 2 bottles. So you would turn it to the left to use 1 bottle, turn it to the right to use the other bottle. We can do a fire test here. Make sure the parking brake is on, which it is. Get all these things turned on, yaw damper. Turn on their hydros. I see you're from Florida. What part? I'm in the Panhandle. I'm in Panama City. It's a great town, Florida. I've been here for many moons. I guess I got here in 97, really. Well, St. Joe, I got in St. Joe in 97. I moved to Panama City in 99. All right, those are on. Windshield heat can come on. Field elevation for Denver is pretty high, I think. It's like 5,000 something, I think. Mile High City, 5,430. Go to Auto 2. Get the environment going. These isolation valves are purely to start the engines. Okay. Gizmo, how you doing, bud? Haven't seen you for a minute. No, I'm just joking. I think you had popped in. It was either yesterday or the day before. I can't remember exactly. This is a fun flight, Gizmo, because we're gonna test. I got this cheat basically, but before I show you the cheat, I want to make sure it works. So theoretically, when I cross the Colorado line, everything should be snow. It doesn't even matter if it's 90 degrees. I just want to make sure that it's all snow. So I asked the developer of the winterizer if there's a cheat, and he gave me the cheat. So I'm going to see if it works. And if it works, then I'll pass it on. All right, so I already filed the flight plan. Let's get ATIS, which is 118.
Albuquerque 6, dew point -11, altimeter 2991, arriving and departing runways 3, 8, visual approaches in use, simultaneous approaches in use, VFR departures, contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignment, hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Oscar.
All right, still Oscar, so
Albuquerque International Airport. ATIS information,
nothing's
Oscar.
changed
1852
weather-wise.
Zulu.
Absolutely a great town in Panama City. We vacation there. I can talk. Yeah, you probably go to the beach, Panama City Beach. We go there a lot for dinner. I guess I'm on the east side of the Hathaway Bridge. If you know where there's Panama City and then there's Panama City Beach. And most vacationers go to the beach, which granted is a lot nicer than Panama City. Given serious thought about moving down, it feels like home. We know all the roads and little spots, snorkeling and jetties. St. Andrews is very nice. Yeah, St. Andrews Park is very nice. It's especially nice during the Christmas time. They light up the entire Oak by the Bay Park, I think it's called, in St. Andrews off of Beck Avenue. It's super nice down there. So yeah, man, if next time you're here, let me know. Wife and I can grab a beer with you and your wife or something. We go out to dinner about once a weekend. We usually head out somewhere. All right, so clearance and delivery. It's 19.2. Ground 121.9er. All right, so we're on. We have an altimeter of 91. There you go. Altimeter is set. I think, yeah, filled up. There's nothing in the center tanks, just 12 and 12, 24,000. We make our way over into Panama City every year. Nice, dude. Yeah, let me know when you're here again. That'd be fun. I've met a few people over my life with gaming, online gaming. You truly do make like long-term friends with gaming, and streaming is new, but I've already feel like I've made some friends through the streaming community and talking to people and getting people to do joint, group flights and stuff. So it's really no different. And I'm making more friends through streaming, like more quickly, I guess, than I did with like my gaming clans. I was in Tactical Realism for Call of Duty, I was in a gaming clan with them for like years when it first came out. And I don't hear anyone talking on ATIS, or not ATIS. Let me see if I'm even logged in. Yep, it's just really quiet. All right, so we're with Oscar. I have to say heavy because we're in a freighter. Anything over 400,000 pounds, which technically I'm not quite there.
4072, contact Los Angeles Center 133.2.
Gross weight is under 400,000, and I think over 400,000 is considered heavy, but I always say heavy in this freighter anyway. Anything with 2 aisles would be considered a freighter. All right, Jamez 3. Afternoon, Albuquerque clearance, FedEx 3171 heavy at cargo with Oscar, IFR Denver.
FedEx 3171 heavy Albuquerque clearance, clear to Denver Airport, Hemez 3 departure, then as filed. Climb via the SID, squawk 6747.
Clear to Denver via Hemez 3 departure. Hemez as filed. Climb via the SID, squawk 6747, FedEx 3171 heavy.
FedEx 3171 heavy, read back correct.
Okay, so ground and towers 120.3. We love Hunt's Oyster Bar. Everyone goes to Hunt's Oyster Bar. It's over your way. Yeah, that's on Beck Avenue. That's St. Andrews. St. Andrews is really nice, and there's if you've been to downtown Harrison, there's a couple of restaurants down there, like there's one called The Place, I think it's called. I've eaten in there once or twice. But because I'm so close, and I've worked in Panama City for half my life, that we like to go out to the beach a lot. I mean, it's more expensive for sure, but Hunt's Oyster Bar has got the best oysters. You're definitely right about that. But I'm not a huge oyster fan, but I do like them the way they cook them with you can have oysters any way you want there. All right, so let's remove the ground. So we'll get rid of the stairs, LSU, fuel truck, loader. Close all the doors. I need to get my FedEx.
Aero 2 Juliet Papa, contact Seattle approach 120.4.
My favorite food spot, it's just normal restaurants. Like Longhorns is my favorite steak place. I know that's not really what you're asking. Like you want like local type hotspots, but honestly, we like stick with chain stuff most of the time. I'm not like
November 122 Juliet Papa, Seattle approach.
with
Boeing
Pure
Altimeter
Park. You know, they got
3021, advise Miami.
Margaritaville. I mean, they got all sorts of places out there. My favorite place that we go to a lot is a Mexican restaurant in Lynn Haven called El Jalisco.
X-ray, expect the ILS runway 14 right approach.
I get was it chicken oh man, now I can't think of the name of the darn thing. When I want to know what the name of something is, I can't think of the name. But we eat a lot of Mexican food. It's Lynn Haven. El Jalisco is really, really good. Albuquerque, so we got PilotEdge, FedEx. How much am I carrying here? 106.7 and 33. Copy it. So that's the A cars for FedEx, right? So I belong to this virtual FedEx airline. This is the only virtual airline that I do anything with, just for the A cars purpose of it. I fly United all the time, but I'm not with a virtual airline with United. I used to be, but they weren't very nice people. Do you know Police Academy, the movies, Gizmo? Yes, I do. I've watched them all. It's been a few years. Angelo's, you know, I've never been there, but I've heard it's just really, really good steaks. And then there's Captain Anderson's, herd fan. I just went there for the very first time with the wife a couple months ago. And it's like it's a staple in this community. Captain Anderson's are seasonal. And I just went there for the first time, and that was fun. I had the red snapper with all their seasonings and all that stuff. So Captain Anderson's is really good, and that place you're talking about, Angelo's Steakhouse, is, I hear it's good, but I don't have any personal experience with it. And Ginnigan's drops by. How you doing there, bud? Nice to see you. And it was a bar, the Blue Oyster Bar. Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, the one that Herd Fan's talking about is Hunt's Oyster Bar, and no relation to the Police Academy. It's not a gay bar. All right, so we are cleared the flight plan. Let me show you the difference with this departure. So we're gonna, reason I filed the Jamez is because ATIS has us taken off on the 8s, right? Come down here, and current operations is runway 8. So I know that the Jamez 3 is specific to runway 8. See how it goes out this way, and then Jamez. So if the winds were coming the other way, then you gotta find the SID. They go the other way, which is at Bosque. No, that's if you're going south. So that won't work for me if I was going, because that's going south. There is one, you just have to find it. I think I have a note somewhere on my
Says 45 kilo
atomic.
altimeter 3021.
Atomic. So the atomic is what I use if I'm taking off the other way. Both of which are the top altitude of flight level 200, and you have to, climb accordingly. But they're runway specific, and the same thing with the arrival. The Peaks 3 into Denver is only if you're landing south. Peaks 3. So, we're doing Brazo to freeze, and then from freeze, we'll come up here, then we'll be vectored to final. But I'm going to do a second flight plan when we're in the air for a landing north, just in case the flow changes. And that would be the Ladora 2. So if I need to, I'll get rid of that. Ladora 2.
Number 28 Romeo Roger, you look
is
for
for
final.
landing
You want to apply the procedure turn outbound from
north. So that would be
Romeo Roger,
runway 35 left. To show you what this, I could do a full approach 35 left. turn that. So you'll see, you got Brazo, so it's the same arrival, except it splits at like Larks, I think. I think Larks, no, Longs. Freeze. Oh, there's Larks. So Larks is right there. So that's where it changes from either the two different stars. So the stars are the same basically until you get there. And then if they change to flows, then I have to put in this Ladora 2. And then from Ladora, I can do a full approach, see, from here, and then grab the ILS to 35 left. So the star, that's why I'm doing this, is because both SIDS and both stars are specific on runways. And it's one of the few flights I do that you do that. But I wanted to cover SIDS and stars a little bit, just because someone asked. But I'm not going to go into a big deal over it unless you guys have questions since you're here.
ILS runway 14 right approach, descend and maintain 6,000.
So, let me see. We refused Captain Anderson's establishment. We ran into him at the docks and he was extremely rude and we did nothing but introduce ourselves. Yeah, he's got one of those attitudes that he's untouchable because he's politically connected in this town. So if I had an experience with someone like you did, I'd be the same way. And like I said, I've only been there once. Sorry about the black screen. It does that when I go between sources. Only takes a second, comes back. All right, so we're gonna do a route, and we're gonna Albuquerque to Denver, and we are FedEx 3171, and I'm not gonna activate it. We're gonna fly out departure. And we're going to do runway 8. You want to do the runway first because it will give you the stars associated with the runway. See how all the stars disappeared? Like atomic is for the other way, right? So the atomic will disappear when you hit 8. And we went the Jamez, whatever. There's no transition. So you go to index, and then we're going to do an arrival in the Denver, which is it's not the Ladora, it's the other one. It's the Peaks.
Paso ground, TBM November 969, Mike, good morning.
Peaks 3, there we go, from, I think it's Brazo. Yeah, Brazo.
November 906,
and just for transitional purposes,
contact clearance delivery 125.0 with your request.
I need to enter in this runway, which is going to be 17 right. So next page, ILS 17 right. Don't care about it. Well, the transition is helpful when you want an extended center line. So I could use like Hope. Is Hope there? Yeah. So that would give me an extended center line. That's all that's going to do. And then we're going to go to legs, and we're going to get rid of discos. So there's that's where the star begins and the SID ends.
Mike, good morning. TBM 900 VFR to the northwest at 8,500 and we have Tata.
All right.
TBM 969er, Mike,
all
El
discos
Paso
are gone.
El Paso departure frequency 119.15, squawk 2153.
And
departure 1915 and 2113 for the squawk 969 Mike.
November 9er Mike, squawk 21.
Fuel weight, like Simbrief said. We are
2153, 2153.
Reserves 4.4, cost index off of Simbrief was, I think it was 21, no 30. Cost index 30. Oops. 30. And now that you've done the flight plan, you've removed all the discos, and you've put in your weights and your cost index. Now it's safe to put in the altitude. if you put in the altitude prior to all those other steps, then you'll most likely get a notice that says unable to cruise.
El Paso ground QBM 906 Mike, hello, Atlantic Aviation with Papa, ready to taxi.
That should be fine. See, I don't have any warning because I did all the other stuff first.
TBM 969 Mike,
And
Mike,
then
El
we
Paso
got
ground 26
perf
left
pages.
taxi via Victor and
So
Lima.
we're going to go to first thing.
26 left via Victor and Lima, 9 Mike.
Route, we're going to put in the runway, which is 08. And then I'm going to activate the route, execute, perf, takeoff, 5 flaps, CG trim 4.2, so we'll 4.2, so hydraulics are on, so that worked. And then I'm going to derate it to 50. And then next page we'll get our winds, which is 280 at 3. That goes there, and temperature is 6 Celsius. Speed on. So VR 145. See, it's supposed to show up automatically and it's not. I don't know how to make it go there. I mean, I know how to do it manually, but I don't.
November 2, Julia Papa.
And the reason I'm looking at it cross-eyed is because that's what this is supposed to do. V-speed semi-auto sets the V-speeds can be transferred from the FMC to the EFIS, but it's not doing that. Maybe I needed to oh, there it goes. See, it was check marked before and I just thought that that would do it, so I had to click on it even though it stayed lit up. So now the V-speeds are there, taken directly from the FMC. 145, 155. All right, cool. So we all learned something new right then and there. Good deal. Lost my place. All right. So let's look at altitudes, at least to climb. I'm only worried about that right now. And the SID. So Tyler less than 230, that's already there. Green less than 250, above 12,000, so that matches. All right. It said not realistic. So what you do is, like, without doing that, you can set it here for your VREFs and hit set. So, I mean, that's up to you. You can do the takeoff and approach, but I find it easier to do it the other way. That's on 20. Bump this up to 200. I always stick with 200. And we can climb via the SID, which is 20,000 feet. Oh, flight director's help. And we're taking off 08. Heading arm LNAV.
November 2 Julia Papa, descend and maintain 4,000.
Decision altitude, not have to worry about that one. And we're about ready for engine start.
Check 28 Romeo, no traffic observed between you and the Narrows Airport at this time. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach while in the air on this frequency. We cancel the ground at 5 minutes of landing on 122.2. Radar services terminated.
Turn the beacon on. High pressure unit start. That's going to start the engines. That's the generator. So we're going to go to ground on engine 2 and we'll get the party started. N2's rising. We're going to wait till we have oil pressure, which is usually around 15.
El Paso
Then we'll
Tower,
add fuel.
90600, Mike holding for runway 26 left and ready for departure. VFR to the northwest, please.
Adding fuel.
TBM 9er, CH9er, Mike, El Paso Tower on course departure is approved. Wind 160 at 5, runway 26 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 26 left, VF takeoff on course approved, thanks.
And we'll put this one on ILS mode. It's on ILS mode. I like that one on ILS, the F off. FO, not F off. Okay, that's why I had made my YouTube channel not kid friendly. That way I don't have to watch myself. All right, so we're gonna come up here. I'm gonna do ground on that one. And this video will be uploaded to my YouTube at the end of today. Swiss cheese, what's up, brother? Adding fuel. You enjoying the upgraded glass? I am. It's pretty. It hasn't changed the VNAV at all. It's like a new paint job, really. You know, it has no added functionality other than it's changed out how you enter stuff.
Mike, thank you.
But I do like it better than the other one. So if you were to ask, is it worth the $20? I would say so. It makes it easier to read. All the information is, you know, right there. And you still use this little screw right here to set your altimeter for both sides. So they left that in there, which is cool.
Mike is unable to switch to 1915, so we are.
So we have two good engines. We got to turn the gens on. So
November 9er,
make sure those lights are off.
Affirmative. I'll see if I can get another frequency as well.
Get rid of the external power. And we will get rid of the high pressure unit, chocks, GPU, ACU. Turn off
Mike, let's try
isolation valves.
124.25.
2425, Niner Mike.
I might have put the wrong runway, so I'm going to back out.
Number 969er, Mike, El Paso approach. Good morning, radar contact. The radar contact now 4.5 northwest of El Paso. The altimeter 299er2, maintain VFR.
All right, 3 or 8. I'm gonna have to change the SID, I think. I'm gonna back out to the right. So we'll do, that looks
November 2 Julia Papa, descend and maintain 3,000.
Acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
I'm gonna have to change the SID for runway 3. Right now I'm set for 8. So we'll do departure, change that to 3. It shows active. Make sure that it's still Should go straight to green. 3 Brazo.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
3 Jamez. Execute legs. There we go.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
I'm thinking I might have a disco. I need to check that.
Starting pushback.
Green, fire, Jamez, or Hemez, and then Brazo. Okay. Looks like I'm still good. The route, we'll do 03 and perf, takeoff, runway 3.
PBM 9 Mike, leaving my airspace now. Your radar services are terminated. Squawk and maintain VFR. Free exchange approved.
Alright. What?
See you, Mooney.
The chair moves back and forth. What in the world? I've never noticed that. That's crazy. Alright, flaps 5.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Let's get our ATIS.
Zulu. Wind 270 at 3. Visibility 10. Ceiling 1000 broken. 4000 broken. Temperature 6. Dew point -11. Altimeter 2991. Arriving and departing runways 3, 8. Visual approaches in use. Simultaneous approaches in use. VFR departures. Contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
Still with Oscar, so nothing's changed. So we can go brakes to RTO. We'll arm the spoilers. You have to click here, not here. Spoilers are there. Brake is there.
Turn 10 degrees left.
Brake auto RTO for
Tow is
rejected
disconnected and
takeoff.
bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Terrain is there, there's terrain. I got that on 20 miles. Cargo heat. Aft and bulk on. And we'll come down here and we'll turn on the traffic. Just stand by because I need to turn on the transponder for 6747. Put that to TARA or whatever you want to call it. And turn that thing on. We'll do some taxi lights. We'll check the controls. Alright, I'm guessing he's going to send me to, I'm going to ask for 3. And Albuquerque ground, FedEx 3171 heavy at cargo, current with Oscar, ready to taxi, request runway 3. He's probably like, no kidding.
FedEx 3171 heavy, Albuquerque ground, runway 3, taxi via Foxtrot.
Runway 3 via Foxtrot, FedEx 3171 heavy. Okay, that's why I turned this way. The screw trick was also in the old one. Yeah. Yes, it was, Gizmo. You're correct. That's why I was showing that it's still there for anyone that upgrades. You still have the little arrow. The Airbus does it automatically. Like as soon as I set the captain's altimeter, the first officer will set. Actually, I think it's. Yeah, it's up here on the MTP on the Airbus. So that's automatic, but I guess originally you'd have to do them separately. And similar to that in my, the King Air 350 that I fly, I have to manually set the first officer side on that. So it's definitely a nice little trick. All right, so runway heading is 034.
November 2, Juliet Papa, 7 miles from Toga, turn left heading 170. Maintain 3000 until established on the localizer clear the ILS, runway 14 right approach.
Wondering if that, yeah, that's a frame killer. So now I'm at 30. Watch the frames. Once that loads, now I'm down to 20. So you gain 10 FPS by turning off the terrain feature. Wow. They need to do something about that. That's too much of a FPS drop for almost 10 FPS for terrain. Gotta tell you what, the Airbus doesn't do that. I don't have a 10 drop. I mean, luckily I can see, so I don't need the terrain on, but it's a neat feature. In the TU-154, you must adjust all 5 altimeters. Holy cow. 3 in meters, 2 in feet. Man, you're going to spend all day on setting altimeters on that thing. Alright, so strobes, landing lights on. Tower is 20.3, departures 127.4. And he didn't give me a departure frequency because it's listed on the SID itself. So if they don't give you a departure frequency, just look on the SID. That's the one you'll tune into. So 127.4 I've got set. We're on tower. Albuquerque Tower, FedEx 3171 Heavy, holding short, runway 3.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Albuquerque Tower, wind calm, runway 3, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 3, clear for takeoff, FedEx 3171 Heavy.
Number 2, Julia Papa, contact Boeing Tower 120.6.
I'm at 16 frames. I have an i7 9700K with a 1080 GTX, and I'm getting 16 frames in this plane.
Boeing Tower, good day. This is Bagraro, 122 Papa. I have one for right.
Number 1 TT, Julia Papa, Boeing Tower, wind calm, runway 14 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 14 right, Julia Papa.
Why am I getting such horrible frames? You would get booted from XPilot. Yes, you're right. VATSIM as a whole is adopting that less than 20 frames. So you're right. I would be booted. I just have to take. I would have to have taken off probably. You know. Oh well. It is what it is. At 12 frames. Why? I'm not like even moving. I get like 28 to 30 frames in the Airbus at this airport, so I'm sure the frames will increase once I get in the air. Now I'm at 35 frames. What in the... Now I'm in like fast forward.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, contact departure.
Over to departure, FedEx 3171 Heavy, see it. So that cleared right on up. How weird. Alright, over to departure. Albuquerque departure, FedEx 3171 Heavy, Jamez 3, leaving 7,000, climbing via the city.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Albuquerque departure, radar contact. Cool strike 55, Albuquerque Center, Roger.
I think it's, is it 230s? No, it's 250 at green. See, now I'm at 30 something frames. Maybe it was just the airport texture. That's so weird. My video is 8. I think the card is 8, which is the max on pretty much any card. Like I'm fine now. I'm at 32 frames. It was just looking down the runway, it was like 10. And then it felt like I got super fast at the end. I don't take off on that runway that often, so maybe it was like a runway specific thing. Usually I take off runway 8, but I'm also in the Airbus, so maybe one day I'll check the Airbus with that runway and see if it does the same thing. If so, I'll have to let Mr. X know because it's his airport. It's the payware version of it, so that's a texture issue. Alright, I need to be above 12,000 at green. We're going to definitely make that.
Number 2 Julia Papa, you parking up on the northeast side?
I also do that
Papa,
texture compression.
Alpha 7, cross runway 14 left, Alpha 7, and ramp Alpha on my frequency.
I do textures at high. It's like 2 notches from the far right. Because it will load stuff before you get to it that way.
Crossing instruction, make sure that gets read back. On Alpha 7, cross runway 14 left, taxi to ramp via Alpha.
11.5 should be better with this. Oh, definitely, because 11.5 is supposed to take advantage of the video card.
3171, heavy contact Albuquerque Center 134.6.
Albuquerque Center 134.6, FedEx 3171 heavy, see you. Alright, so 134.6. So yeah, it's supposed to take advantage of the multiple, or take advantage of the card. Albuquerque Center, FedEx 3171, Jamez 3, leaving 15,700, climbing via the SID.
FedEx 3171, Albuquerque Center, roger, climb, maintain flight level 330.
Climb, maintain flight level 330, FedEx 3171. So we're past green, so we can go faster. Pick up our speed. Push that out. Yeah, if they could do something with X-Plane to allow a better, like my processor is a 8-core processor. I didn't get the 8700, I got the 9700 because the 9700 has 8 cores, where the 8700 has 6 cores. And if you like to multitask like I'm doing with streaming,
Number 45
I want more cores.
Contact Oakland Center 132.2.
And
132.2. 45 kilo, have a good day.
If they could make it to where the processor would utilize more cores, as well as using the graphics card, it would not shock me at all to have frames near 60, 80, or even 100 frames. They just need to code it to where not only will it utilize the video card, but utilize your processor. Because the whole reason, I mean, really, the number one reason I upgraded my computer to the hardware I have now is because of X-Plane was so bad.
Number 2845 Kilo,
and
Oakland,
there was just
Center, Roger. Are you looking to do the procedure turn and taking the approach from Reading or vector to final?
There was just no way I would have been able to stream with my old computer. I had very outdated stuff.
Even from, I guess, where would you like to begin the approach or vectors to final? I guess is what I would like to know.
Yeah, we'll fly the procedure turn outbound. We'll intercept at Reading and start our outbound from there.
November 45 Kilo, Roger. Expect that.
Thank you. We'll expect the localizer approach on way 34.
It looks like that trick is working, right? No, I'm not sure. Maybe that is winter. Maybe not. I don't think I'm in Colorado yet. Colorado should be all winter, no matter what the weather right now.
242 Delta Romeo, Seattle clearance is cleared to Santa Rosa Airport. Harab 6 departure E-Rave transition that has filed. Climb via the CITIX at maintain 900,000. Departure frequency 120.4, squawk 7334. Clear 2 Delta Romeo, read back correct.
When I'm turning on and off the terrain, somehow overloaded the standby memory or whatever you call it for the graphics memory. Like it just loaded it and it didn't unload it. So every time I clicked terrain on and off, it was just adding to the video card until I got out of that area. That could have been it, because I did turn the terrain on and off like 3 times. This plane climbs like the Dickens. Yeah, it's funny you bring up the Lewis script, the J3J or whatever it's called. I tried that just the other day, actually, and I saw 0 difference. But I know the developer of the 3J FPS thing, the website says it's good for like 3. It's good for 11.3 something, and right now we're 11.4. So maybe that's why. Maybe the scripting is kind of messed up with the current version, but it didn't, like, I tested it flying into Seattle. I can't remember which airplane I was using off the top of my head, but I know with Seattle, no matter what airplane I use, I always get like 18 frames at the highest, because I got the HD version of Seattle. And it was very overcast. Like I was really pushing it to the limit with that 3J thing. And even though I put the lowest FPS at like 25, I think, it still was getting a steady 18. So it just goes to show that if you don't have the if you don't have it set up in your settings, it doesn't matter. You would think that would have adjusted it, but the other thing is it's not compatible with the SkyMax Pro weather. So the SkyMax Pro has it, you know, it wasn't reducing the clouds. So I think that 3J FPS thing is really good for stock X-plane everything. But if you start adding in add-ons like I have, then it kind of hurts it a little bit. Let me see what else. Ginnigan says, if your frames get low, it can adjust some things to speed it up, but then return full quality when frames go. Yeah, it does have those presets. And I'm not knocking it. I didn't really test it. I tested it for 1 flight. So I'm sure if I mess around with the settings, I could get it even better than what it was. But I just didn't, for me, I didn't notice that much of an improvement. So I just uninstalled it.
maintain Cessna 45 Kilo, depart folds direct, the Reading VO
Diger, Trude, how you doing, bud? Can you play the fly to Iron
Skywagon 45
with
Kilo.
Ukraine Airlines? I guess you could if you had delivery for it. It only can change cloud textures and draw
FedEx
distance.
3171, contact Denver Center 127.02.
Denver Center 127.02, FedEx 3171. 12702. Denver Center, FedEx 3171, flight level 330.
FedEx 3171, Denver Center, roger.
It can change cloud texture and draw distance. It helps a tiny bit, but if your settings are too high for a given airport, it's not going to help. I think that's what it was, Ginnigans. I think it's because I've always had issues with Seattle with the HD version, so I think it works, but you know, I use SkyMax Pro clouds, so no, I don't think it adjusts the SkyMax Pro clouds. I think it can only adjust the X-plane clouds. I think he's making a way to do that, to draw distance objects in ortho. Oh, that'd be nice. If he can do that with the ortho, that would make a huge difference with that, the object and autogen. Yeah, I'll wait for whenever his next version says it's valid with X-plane 4 point something, then I'll try it again. But right now it's with the older versions of X-plane, and if he's able to incorporate the autogen and the ortho, which is pretty much everything I have, then that would be very, very helpful. All right, let's see if I can put in a route 2. Route 2. Albuquerque, Denver, FedEx 3171. And it would be the Ladora. Ladora 2 from Brazo. That would be 3-5 left. Full approach from Ladora.
Number 45 Kilo south, altitude.
Lakes for
we're
2.
12.5 trying to climb back up to 13.
Number 2845 Kilo, roger. And tell you what, just descend and maintain 900,000.
Okay, down to 900,000 now, 45 Kilo.
Number 242 Delta Romeo, Seattle ground.
All right.
Runway 16 left, taxi
So we are
via
set
Alpha.
for going the other way if we need to. I was hoping it wouldn't be so cloudy. I wanted to see if I could see Colorado. I can probably cheat and look. Still landing south. See if I can see. I can't see squat. Probably take forever to manually. I want to know if it's snow underneath me. Oh well. I'll know when I descend. program 100 miles. I got plenty of time. There should be a break in the clouds at some point. D-ATIS is Bravo. The altimeter is 2973. They're landing south, so I'm gonna, for parking purposes, I'm gonna crest 17 right because of FedEx.
November 242 Delta Romeo, Saddle Tower, runway 16 left, cleared for takeoff, wind calm. Number 2845 Kilo, cross the Reading VOR at or above 6,000, cleared the ILS, runway 34 approach.
Okay, we'll cross Reading at or above 6,000, cleared for the ILS, 34, Skywagon 45 Kilo.
Alright, so this star that we're on, we can descend all the way down to 11,000 when we're given permission. And I'll have to reset it on the MCP. I got a little ways to go. Since I'm at cruise, I think I got 90 miles to go. So I'm going to run that little boys round. I'll be right back. Oh, wait, cloud. It's not loading the winter, at least. Maybe it will when I get closer. Take a little break, be right back. Denver Center, FedEx 3171. I'm going to step away for a minute and I'll report back.
Roger. Gold Strike 55, contact Albuquerque Center 134.6.
Albuquerque Center, Gold Strike 55, level 370.
Gold Strike 55, Albuquerque Center, roger, descend final discretion, maintain flight level 230.
230 PD, Gold Strike 55.
Alright, I am back. Denver Center, FedEx 3171, I'm back with you, thanks.
FedEx 3171, roger, thanks. Descend via the Peak 3 arrival, report leaving flight level 330.
Descend via the Peak 3 arrival, report leaving 330, FedEx 3171. Alright, so over here, we can bump that down a little bit. We got 66 miles. Oh, it's working. It works. We've got winter. It works. I'm so happy. So I figured out a cheat, and I'll show you guys how to do this. See how it's all winter for the ortho? That's so awesome. So I couldn't tell it was winterized because it's not drawing straight out, only just underneath us. That's cool. That's all right. That'll work. So let me see. See if I can show you this cheat. I have to find it first. Okay. Let me pull this up.
Albuquerque, Channel Gulfstreak 55, and just step away 3 minutes, stop the 57.5.
Gulfstreak 55, no problem.
Thank you.
That's not it. I'm going to show you as soon as I find it. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the winterizer tool for ortho, and it works very well. It's not the picture. I had anyway, when you run this program, it will winterize the tiles, so it will look like Utah. See how it shows winterized? So that's after you run the program, it will winterize and puts these labels or whatever they're called. I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. So what you do to make it so you go down there to the library and you open that up, and it will look like, I don't want to mess that up, so I made backups so I can restore it. So open up Utah. So this is the library text, right? So to make it so it's guaranteed snow, you delete those lines. So you go down to the text, you delete those 3, 4, 5 lines, and then save it, and then start your sim, and boom, you got yourself a winterized. Because if you don't delete them, then it goes by region, and the rain has to be that percentage, the temperature at sea level has to be that. So if you just delete those 5 lines, which is what I asked C-Coder about, and he told me that's how you can do it, then you'll force the textures to be winter no matter what. So that's why I have this library file as original no snow library for ortho. So when I'm done with this flight, I'll go back into the Colorado and I'll copy and paste the library back into the scenery. That way it will go back to summer the way it should, and it will work the way he intended. So that's a little shortcut, y'all. That's how you make it. That's how you make it snow. no matter what. And then you'll have snow. Oh, yeah. I'll post a link. Alright, that's the link. And then, let me see if I can find something. I might be at my top of descent. I'm coming up to it. 17 miles.
You're on the wrong beacon code, so I couldn't see you. Number 242 Delta
Lower
Romeo.
the MCP
Squawk
to 11,000.
and then contact departure.
Then it will descend on its own.
November 242 Delta Romeo, sail departure, radar contact 20 north of the Olympia VOR, climb and maintain 15,000.
I'm looking for a screenshot to show you something.
Cool Strike 55, contact Albuquerque Center 124.32.
2432, that's right.
Alright. I'll show you the screenshot as soon as I start this descent.
There, 2 Delta Romeo,
So I don't
contact
miss
Seattle Center
the check-in.
126.6 for higher.
We're going to be starting down in just a moment.
Seattle Center, 242 Delta Romeo, 9,800, climbing.
To 30.
Number 242 Delta Romeo, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb maintain flight level 230, 2 Delta Romeo.
Gold Strike 55, Albuquerque Center, roger. Albuquerque altimeter 2987, descend and maintain 17,000.
17,000, Gold Strike 55.
Denver Center, FedEx 3171, leaving 330.
FedEx 3171, roger.
Okay. Let's check the legs page, make sure everything looks right for the arrival. So okay, Den. Before I forget, so with that program, on the Fork Boys ortho, the ortho that I use, you want to check that, see where it says winterize Z ortho XP tiles? You check that, and if you do one tile at a time, you uncheck batch. So for me, I only did Colorado and Utah, so have that one checked, uncheck that, so those three are not checked. Only check that one, and then winterize all the tiles within. Like this is dealing with just one state, and that's how I like doing it. I only wanted to winterize 1 or 2 states. And then you can always reset the tile. It's super easy to do. But
Number 2 Delta Romeo, contact Seattle Center 125.1.
125.1, 2 Delta
so
Romeo.
we have the peaks 3.
Seattle Center, Learjet 242 Delta Romeo, 17,400,
So
climbing
above
flight level
17, 250, between 22
November
and 17
242 Delta Romeo, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Larks below 22.
Maintain flight level 370, 2 Delta Romeo.
Gold Strike 55, report when you have the weather at Santa Fe if you have a request.
So we'll do...
What you know, Gold Strike 55.
Larks L220 below, 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 execute, and then ELIS is below 17.
Albuquerque, Eagle Strike 55. Do you have the weather now? Expecting the visual 02.
Eagle Strike 55, roger. I've got Santa Fe altimeter at 2987. I'll have lower for you.
Look is
2987.
13, so that's fine. That will adjust it on the fly. So you can only adjust these when you're descending. And that's the easiest way.
Eagle Strike 55, descend and maintain 11,000.
Not 11,000, Eagle Strike 55.
That way I should be between 17 and 22 by the time we get to Larks. And the 568
FedEx 3171, contact Denver approach 120.35.
120.35, FedEx 3171.
Contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading.
45 kilo at last and contact ready tower 119.8.
Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Bravo.
Alright, still Bravo.
Denver International Airport. 8 TIS information Bravo. 1953 Zulu. Wind 1.
2973. I want 17 right. Denver approach. FedEx 3171 heavy descending via the Peaks 3, leaving flight level 223. Current with Bravo. Request ILS 17 right approach.
FedEx 3171 heavy, Denver approach, roger. Expect that altimeter 2973.
2973, FedEx 3171. Heavy. Whatever. Alright, so let's do... Two 973. Set. 2973. So now we're at 17 to 22, I think. Yep. ILS for 17 right, it's 1085. Uh, 173. $108.5, 173. Alright, so the next one, Eclipse. No problem, Gizmo. You bet. Anything I can do to pass on. I mean, that's another reason I do the streaming. I mean, not only to entertain myself, but to provide my knowledge, you know, and get others on board. I didn't know it's going to be this cloudy. I was hoping for more snow visibility, but whatever. What, 17 left. It's like the next, I should be at 250 knots, which I am, okay. So the VNAV
Roger, IFR cancellation
is here. That's how you know if you're on your own profile. If that diamond is in the middle, that's how you know if you're on profile. You would think it'd be here, but no, you gotta look here. So we are on profile.
2 Delta Romeo, contact Seattle Center now 135.15.
123.85. So I got 123.85. So that might be the next approach controller.
242 Delta Romeo, Seattle Center, roger.
Alright, we're between 15 and 17 at, we got 13 miles to look. So we should have been below 17. Well, we're just now passing it, so that's fine. Look is above 13,000. So everything else is right. You just don't want to mess with the altitudes. I mean, I guess you could do them at cruise. But it won't auto adjust the altitudes in between the hard-coded ones unless you have the MCP set for descend. So it won't auto calculate these numbers until you lower it to your bottom of the star. So that's another thing I've learned with this aircraft is to first lower the MCP, then worry about any altitude restraints. And I only pick, when I have a window, I only pick the highest one. So like longs, that's actually too low. So I'm going to do longs, and we're going to do above 13. Right there, and we'll execute it, and then that way it will keep me above 13,000 at longs, and then we'll go to 11,000 at cliff. So you can only do that on the descent. Can't do it at cruise. I've learned that the hard way. And then cliff should lower us to 210 knots. So. It's so overcast, but it's okay. I know that trick works with the ortho scenery now, so that's all I really cared about, was testing that with this flight. I wanted to fly into Denver to make sure it worked, because I knew it wouldn't load these tiles from Albuquerque when I first loaded in. That's just this plane, right? Yeah, this is like kind of more like a Boeing thing from what I understand. I've done a lot of research on FMC. I've had a lot of conversations and I've been reading a lot of the forums about this because I was just having a fit. Like, if you try to reset those things at cruise and you got the altitude still at your cruise altitude, it botches up all the altitudes in between the hard set ones. So I've just learned to lower the MCP, then worry about the altitude restrictions. The Airbus is automatic. It just pulls the nav data and it does the altitudes that are in between the other altitudes.
Number 2 Delta Romeo, say altitude.
Automatically. What am I doing? 352.
Roger.
So yeah, it's more of a Boeing thing. That oh, the other thing that this plane doesn't do is it will not enter the in-between windows. Only the Airbus will pull from the nav data and put that window. Now, the Boeing FMC is supposedly able to do that in the real plane, and I wrote the flight factor about it. All right, good. I got all my winter textures working at Denver, so we are good. Everything is working well. And Flight Factor admitted that they have not implemented a fully workable FMC. It's not a good simulation. And I'm like, for an airplane that I have
FedEx
put...
3171 Heavy, contact Denver approach 123.85.
Denver approach 123.85, FedEx 3171 Heavy. For a plane that costs more than $120 after all the upgrades, I want a better FMC, so I've made that known in the forums. Denver approach, FedEx 3171 Heavy, 1000.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Denver approach, roger, altimeter 2973, fly present heading, vectors, ILS, runway 17 right approach, descend and maintain 900,000.
Flight present heading, vectors for final approach course 2973, descend maintain 9000, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Alright, so we're going to do 9000 and we're going to go to BS mode. We're going to slow down to do that. Flaps. Five. It's 190. Be 15. APU can come on. I'll turn on the gen. I'll turn on the bleed. And we'll go heading mode, and we'll go auto brakes to 2, and we'll arm the spoilers. Do seat belts on. ILS is on this one. No signal yet. It's 17 right, which is 108.5, 173, so we're good there. Tower's 133.3.
Cessna 45 kilo left turn, back taxi runway 30 is approved if you like.
Missed approach, be climbed to 10,000. Want to heading
45 kilo, roger.
173.
And then left turn runway 30, left turn Lima into the ramp this frequency. Have a great day.
10,000. Well, this is great, y'all. I really like this trick. I guarantee
3171
snow.
heavy, turn right heading 080, descend to maintain 8,000.
Zero 80, descend maintain 8,000, FedEx 3171 Heavy.
We're 45 kilo, I'm sorry, say again. Not really, but you can always contact ops at PilotEdge.net. Yeah, I would encourage ops at PilotEdge.net, and you can always explain the scenario there. My pleasure.
I think the Zebo does it correctly as far as the altitude altitude thing you say. So the Zebo has custom programming, and they probably do it the way the real FMC would work. But that's why I was saying with the flight factor with this FMC, it's not a true simulation. They don't even have all the input that you can put in the Zebo. So the Zebo FMC for a free airplane is way superior to this FMC. And that's my major complaint with Flight Factor when it comes to this airplane, was that I paid $20 for an avionics package that did absolutely nothing for an FMC.
FedEx
So
3171 Heavy, 9.5 miles from Jewel. Turn right heading 130. Set and maintain 7,000 until established on the localizer. Clear the ILS runway 17 right approach.
flight heading 130. Descend, maintain 7,000 until established on a localizer. Cleared ILS 17 right approach. FedEx 3171 Heavy. All right. Yeah, I've done this a while. Got these things memorized. All right, so we're going to arm the localizer. We should continue that turn inbound. But, you know, they said in an email to me that they are going to be doing an update on the FMC at some point. No window. They didn't tell me when, just that they're going to do it. Because I'm like, this is silly, because this plane cost more than the Airbus A320 Ultimate. It costs more, but it's way less system rich than the Airbus. Setting that for missed. So I just feel that an aircraft that costs $120 should have a system-rich FMC, because you're right, the Zeebo is far superior to this. And but the plane is definitely improving, but heck, you're paying for each little improvement. So I'm going to be pretty hot if they make me pay for an FMC improvement, or if they make any of us pay for it, for that matter. All right, 180 is flaps 20. You didn't say it's far superior.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, contact Denver Tower 133.3.
Denver Tower 133.3, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Denver Tower, FedEx 3171 Heavy, established on a localizer 17 right.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Denver Tower, runway 17 right, clear to land.
17 right, clear to land, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Our Russians, FFRs are suckers. Do you set your course to match the ILS? No. No, I set, oh, yes. So the course for the ILS is here. So I set that per the, you know, the heading. Is that 25? There we go. Autopilot off. A bit of a left crosswind here.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Definitely a crosswind from the left. Auto brakes are on. Reversers are on. 90 knots. Reversers off. I'm going to go down to the next one. Brakes off.
FedEx 3171 Heavy taxi via Mike and Alpha to the ramp, remain this frequency.
Mike, Alpha to the ramp, remain with you. FedEx 3171 Heavy, we'll see you. Alright, so we got APU on. We can turn off landing lights and strobes. Flaps are up. It's unarmed. He said, I thought he said Alpha. Oh, Alpha's the bottom one, okay. I think the flight factor FMC does some things the Zebo doesn't. Well, it does to a degree to where like the winds. I mean, I don't fly the Zebo. I love my Airbus. That's why I fly that most of the time. But I'm so invested in this airplane over the years. This is my very first payware airplane I've ever bought for X-Plane. So, I keep dumping money into it. So that's why I do fly it. But I love the Airbus McDo is just awesome. So I think this is Alpha. But like this one will bring in the winds and such like automatically. But that was a good test. It worked. Missed the landing, Gizmo. No worries. I'm going to do the replay as I always do. Tower view and the flyby view. It's like a truck race. They got a tractor pull going on. What are all these trucks doing? They're all going in circles. I like the custom mesh for this airport. It's similar to that of the new Nimbus Atlanta, where it actually descends down into this cargo area like Atlanta has the different levels. into that truck. Suicide truck driver. Alright. Turn off those taxi lights. Seatbelts off. Transponder standby. APU is on and 100% so we can kill the fuel. The more I learn about this aircraft, the easier it's becoming because I'm flying it more now than I have been just because of those new avionics. I like glass cockpits. That's why I'm really looking forward to the MD-11 for rotate. Can you do a replay? Yeah. Yep. Let me shut this down real quick. So we'll turn that off, turn those things off. Disconnect and $12.1 fuel. That was a butter. That was a butter land. Kind of coast in. The auto brakes are still on, and then I turn off the auto brakes and the flaps at the same time. That was a good flight, y'all. I learned through testing how to change ortho to guaranteed winter no matter what the weather. That makes a huge difference to have everything winterized, including the mountains and the city and everything. I didn't like it when it was based off of weather conditions. If I wanted it snow, I wanted it snow. So now I know how to do it. Well, I'm going to go take a break. That was a long flight for me. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Let's see if I can find some streaming ATC Real World Denver Approach. See you, Gizmo. Thanks, bud. Genigans, thanks for dropping by for the chat. I may have to pick up the Zebo one day. Probably not. I love my Airbus. All right, guys. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon. Chase out.
Left 220, water ski 4772 airfield.
Southwest 2103, turn left heading 260, reduce speed 190.
260, total 190, Southwest 2103.
22210, see ya.
Calling at 677.
5916, turn 10 degrees left, vector sequence, descend and maintain 14000.
Descend to 14000, Skywest 5960.
At a 677, have approach at Haley, cleared ILS, show my 16 left approach.
Hey, at Haley, cleared the ILS 16 left, United 677.
Frontier 664, caution wake turbulence, about 8 trail of a heavy Boeing 787 Dreamer.
Roger that, we're looking for Frontier 664.
Fly heading 220, descend and maintain 10,000.
220 heading down to 1010,000, South 1850.
Southwest 2103, settles off the left-hand side, 12 miles.
Inside, Southwest 2103.
Southwest 2103, join final left 200 heading, clear visual approach from my 17 right.
Got the final 200 heading and clear the visual 17 right, Southwest 2103.
Coast 5222, contact Tower Jewel 133.3.
Tower Jewel, Scout 5222.
United 1908 to pass the 21.5 for on the Wahoo with information whiskey.
Scout 5511, contact approach 125.75.
2575, Skywest 511.
Scout 5786, reduce speed to 250 and comply with public speed.
250, fly with public speed, Scout 5786.
United 1908, Denver approach, plan visual approach on 17 right, good morning.
17 right, United 1908, good day.
Tower approach velocity 4613, thanks to level 235 by the Kepler reflector.
RC 4613, Denver approach, good morning, plan out, approach on 16 left, and let's maintain at 280 and navigator, please.
Okay, 16 left, 280 is total UC otherwise, velocity 4613.
Leader or greater if you guys want to go faster than that.
Okay, 2 or better, velocity 4613.
Right.
And I think they told you we'll probably be a little high at Dandy.
Top 5744 affirmative, T is approved.
7 right off the heading, Southwest 1850.
Southwest 2103, maintain 170 knots to Jewel, traffic off your right is for the parallel.
7 Jewel, and they'll be looking Southwest 103.
Lookout 3405, turn left heading 260, reduce speed 190.
260 and 109 knots, Lookout 3405.
Southwest 1850, traffic 1 o'clock, 5 miles southeastbound 11,000, Airbus going to the parallel west of it.
East side, South 1850.
Southwest 1850, maintain visual separation with that traffic.
Roger that.
Skywest 5786.
Tower there, 133.3.
33-317 Jewel, Southwest 2003, yeah.
5999, contact approach 120.8, see ya.
120.8, Scout 5999, have a good day.
Frontier 664, traffic off the left side out of 10,737 for the parallel.
Inside, Frontier 664.
Skywest 5786, Denver approach, runway 16 left, maintain your present speed, what is that?
Present speed 240, Skywest 5786.
5786, maintain 240 knots, fly present heading, just to maintain 1 net 0,000.
240 knots, present heading 10,000, Skywest 5786.
7 right.
Join final off 200, heading clear visual approach 17 right, Skywest 511.
Lookout 3405, settles off your left-hand side, 13 miles.
Inside, looking for the 3405.
Lookout 3405, join final left 200, heading clear visual approach from my 17 right.
Showing the final over 200 heading clear 17 right with 3405.
Southwest 1850, maintain 170 knots to Jewel.
70 Jewel, Southwest 1850.
Water speed 4772, maintain 170 knots to Jewel, contact tower 133.3.
170 Jewel Tower 333, water ski 4772, take care, good work.
Have a good day.
United 662, 14000 on the Kipper Pass.
United 652, Denver approach flighting 220, descend and maintain 10,000.
220, 10,000, United 662.
Eyes on floor, again about 40 miles.
60.
Denver approach, Brickyard 3695, flight level 23.7, descending via Jacker 3 with whiskey.
Brickyard 3695, approach altimeter 1072, front of visual 17 right.
1072, visual 17 right, Brickyard 3695.
6 fly heading 110.
Heading 110, Skywest 5786.
662.
Code 3405, traffic 1 o'clock and 3 miles southbound 8000 is a 787. They're going to the parallel west of you.
I got the traffic, we got 3405.
Code 3405, once established on the localizer, maintain 170 knots to Joule.
Once established on localizer, 170 till Joule, 3405.
Still east.
160 knots, still east, yeah, 677.